day heading to the closest bridge in Murata. If it was still standing. If any of the bridges were still standing. The ground seemed to have stopped moving, and Pietro cautiously pushed himself up on one elbow. All around him he could see people on their feet, gathered in small, agitated knots, hunkered down around injured companions, or working together to lift down trees. The noise of the crowd had changed in pitch, from cries of confusion to shouts of purpose. A woman nearby was still sobbing in a low, heartbroken way, and Pietro knew a moment's cowardice. He wanted to sink into his tangled bedroll, cover his ears, wait until rescue arrived, or the campers organized themselves into efficient units of aid and repair. "I'm old," he thought, dropping back to the ground. "I've put in my time succoring the sick and leading the lost. I'm old and I'm tired, and I'm lost myself. Someone should stop by and look after me." He remained there a moment, feeling his whole body tense with the effort to lie still. And then he sighed and shoved himself upright again. When the ground stayed quiescent beneath him, he pushed himself all the way to his feet and hunted up his shoes. Then he grabbed his smaller bag, the one that held the things he couldn't afford to lose to looters, and wound his way through the debris to find the crying woman. She looked up when he dropped to his knees beside her. He judged her to be in her middle 40s, with the deep brown skin and silky black hair of someone who was purebred Corcannon. Her face was scratched and bleeding from shallow cuts, but she seemed more concerned about her left arm, which she was cradling to her chest. He automatically glanced at her bracelets to learn whatever part of her story they would tell. He couldn't get a good view of her left wrist, but her right arm was heavy with gold and silver bangles, signifying her status as a married woman with many children. "I think I broke my arm. Are you a doctor?" she asked hopefully, her eyes going to Pietro's left hand. Disappointment clouded her face as she saw only the slim, ambiguous rope of twisted silver that was the least useful of all the career designations. Sojourner, it meant. Seeker. The only way to provide less information was to not bother wearing a bracelet at all. He smiled at her reassuringly. He had never lost his ability to comfort the most distraught mourner, calm the most tortured soul. "I'm not," he said, "but I have spent much time working in infirmaries, and I can set a bone." She held her arm out, and he began working it over carefully, cleaning one long gash before improvising a splint. He had a numbing salve that he had bought almost as a joke. Wouldn't it be marvelous if this could soothe a broken heart? But he spread that liberally over her arm before setting the splint in place, and she sighed in relief. "Thank you," she said. "That's so much better." "You might have someone check it for you as soon as you get to the city." She glanced hopelessly toward the chasm. "I heard someone say the bridge collapsed," she said. "How will we get home?" "I imagine that's a question that is vexing everyone this morning." She covered her eyes with her free hand. "This one was worse, wasn't it? Worse than all the other tremors." He was tying the last bit of ripped fabric around his makeshift splint, but now his hand stilled as he stared at her. "There have been other tremors?" he said. At her look of incredulity, he added hastily, "I haven't been in the city for 10 years. "Mostly small ones," she said, "but they've been happening for the past year or so." Pietro tried not to show how shocked he was by the terrible news. "Well," he said, rising to his feet, "the quakes have stopped for now. Maybe they won't start up again for a good long time." Although he knew that wasn't true. Stepping away from the Corcannon woman, Pietro strolled